Hello and good morning. Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live show. My name is Chris Sauer. I'm a first prize winner of the 2020 Sound Espressivo Competition, turned judge, social media manager, and today I'll be your host. You might be wondering why we're doing all these broadcasts and what competition does this. And to my knowledge, no other competition spends 3 months in advance of the competition promoting it with live broadcasts, talking about each aspect of the competition. Nobody else does this. And why do we do it? Because we're different. And we want to do things differently. We want to engage audiences differently. We want to show each part of our competition in a way that will appeal. So we're not just out there to, take your money for a competition, or we're not out there just to have something to gain ourselves. We want to connect musicians. We want to bring managers, masterclasses, festivals, teachers, conductors, collaborators all over the world with young musicians who want to have a platform to grow. And today is my pleasure to welcome you to today's segment, which is on the Sound Espressivo competition prizes, more specifically the scholarships and masterclasses. So the second category of prizes we're going to talk about today is the scholarships and masterclasses. Why is this important? For me personally, the most exciting parts of a music student's life is actually the summertime. This is a time when you get a mixture of rest. The summer is always exciting in that everyone is thinking and buzzing with, where are you going? Which festivals are you doing? Who are you playing for? What's happening this summer? Oh, you're doing a concert tour? That's really cool. Or you're part of an orchestra touring around Europe? That's really cool. And so one of the most exciting parts of a student's life is actually the summertime. You get to travel, you get to meet new people, you get to go in summer camps, and these include staying, from anywhere from 2 to 6 to 8 weeks at a certain place. Sometimes it's Aspen, sometimes it's like place like Banff. Some people go to Verbier, some people go all over the world with orchestras, with people, and they meet one another, and it's an incredibly enriching time. So one of these prizes with scholarship and masterclasses aims at giving these people giving musicians opportunities to be free from financial burden, to travel, to go meet people, to play for different teachers, and really experience what it's like to be a musician and get some context. Sometimes when you're in a music conservatory, it can be very tempting to feel like these are the only people I'm competing with, or these are only musicians I know. But that's not true. There's a whole world of musicians out there doing different things with different tools, different ways of understanding music, different ways of hearing the music that they play. So it's a really important part of a musician's life. And so today we want to talk about the scholarships and masterclasses and why they're important. They open our minds. I remember very fondly the first time I went to the International Holland Music Sessions, and it's in a very small town in Holland, and you get a host family, and the host family usually feeds you pretty well. You get to stay with them, and so you get you're almost thrown into a culture which is not really your own. And during the 2-3 weeks I spent in the International Holland Music Sessions, I played for different teachers. I got to hear different people's masterclasses, and there were piano, violin, and cello teachers and musicians, and we went to Amsterdam together. We went to parties together. We played for each other. We listened to each other's recitals and concerts, and this was an incredibly beautiful and nourishing time. And a lot of these musicians I still keep in touch with. Sometimes you form these sort of bonds with these people at the different place, and you'll never forget it. I went to a piano festival in Gijón in Spain, and these people, I'll never forget that summer. It was such a beautiful time. We ate and drank, and it was just a very nourishing time. So this is the whole point of these prizes, that sometimes it's tempting for competitions just to give a cash award, but here in Sound Espressivo competition we want to give opportunities. We want to give something that's valuable, something that's memorable, and will encourage them to explore their music unique voice, or explore different opportunities and connect with other musicians. So if you're joining us today, thank you very much, and we're looking forward to engaging with you, and hopefully you will send some students, or you yourself will apply to the Sound Espressivo 2021 competition. I want to bring in today a very special guest, the co-founder of Virtual Concert Halls, Dr. Anna Ospenskaya. And she's an incredible innovator, visionary, and thought leader in our music industry. And she's just a joy to work with. I want to bring her on to discuss these prizes. Today, more specifically, the scholarships and the masterclasses that are available. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Chris. Thank you very much for having me. What a wonderful description. Yes, exactly. The experience, the networking, the connecting with other musicians, and hopefully even with managers. Ultimately, all of us want more opportunities to perform, more audience, more chances to share who we are and what we do with music. So this is a very great introduction. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm very excited about this because I think that music organizations around the world are doing different things. There are the managers, there are record labels, there are agents, but masterclasses and festivals hold a very, very dear place in my heart. I think this is a place where there's a lot of excitement. You get to meet different people playing different instruments and hear their stories and where did you study, who did you play for, who did you study with, and where have you performed. You feel like you're part of a much bigger world.
Absolutely. And you form lasting relationships with these people. I'm a little bit older than you, to put it nicely.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit. That's right. So I've formed collaborations, chamber music collaborations, and even business collaborations through those experiences, even though for my generation there was a lot less available than today. So it's really important for the young musicians to delve into it, to go to those events, and to really put themselves out there, be active, be proactive, seek more and more connection, seek more and more, be more open-minded. Yeah.
I love that. And speaking about open-mindedness, we'll have so much to talk about just on that issue. But let's dive right into it, if you don't mind. Well, I want to start with the Colburn School Prize, and this is a connection that I think is actually phenomenal. Especially you had this since the first year. Colburn School is an incredible conservatory. All students who attend are fantastic, first of all, but they also get free ride. And so now, what is this? Can you tell us a little bit more about this advanced piano seminar and 2 full scholarships? That's incredible.
That's a repeat of the same prize which we had in 2020, which was actually awarded to 2 pianists during the first Sound Espressivo competition, and they were invited to attend a summer seminar at Colburn School, which was held in 2021 in a virtual format. Now, of course, the school is hoping to host it in person in 2022. So the current contestants who will participate in the Sound Espressivo this year hopefully will be able to go in person. Now, the full scholarship means everything is paid for. The tuition is completely covered, and it's a very expensive, unfortunately, very expensive event to attend, and a lot of students may qualify but may not be able to afford it. So it's an extraordinarily generous gift from the Colburn School, and to help someone to go to one of the top conservatories in the world, to experience this phenomenal community of some of the most brilliant musicians and teachers, to work with them, and also to experience the school itself. Just a building of, I don't know if you, Chris, been to Colburn School, just the building of the school is extraordinary. It's
fantastic. Yeah. I spent a year studying there, my first year of my undergraduate, and so for those who may not have been to the Colburn School, the practice building, the concert halls, the classrooms, everything is in one building. You don't even have to go outside if you don't really want to.
Yeah,
and
if you didn't want to.
The dorms are all there. Yeah, and then the cafeteria is there. And as a student there and part of this piano seminar, you'll get to live, you get to eat, all in this one space. And
one complex.
It's fantastic.
And it's modern. And what I want to point out to the future recipients of those scholarships, the building is equipped to the absolute top modern standards of sound and video equipment. So each hall has full systems, providing the opportunity to perform in a completely modern concert hall environment. So make sure you are very curious about everything that's there, and the faculty. Now let's let's just say a couple of words about the faculty. Colburn School attracts some of the absolute top artists to come and teach for those piano seminars. Make sure you also, there's one more extraordinary element about this particular summer piano seminar. They allow and even encourage the students who attend these seminars to attend other teachers' classes.
Great.
Now, this is coming actually from the old age tradition where all professors' classes were open to anyone to attend. That was my experience in Moscow and St. Petersburg Conservatory. And sure enough, in my experience, my professor's class was always full of visitors. So it was every lesson we had was a mini concert because you were basically open masterclass.
Yeah.
So not every school even allows that. Some schools have policies of privacy and other concerns, but Colburn School brings it to the experience, and that is invaluable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Coupled with your own lessons, and students get a huge number of lessons and participation in master classes and other activities and performances, everything. So it's an intense course, and you will also have a body of some of the most brilliant young pianists around you.
It's actually phenomenal, and at a risk of going on a tangent on this, the whole idea of open masterclasses is actually brilliant. I might really he's my teacher who I've loved and studied with for long. John Perry, he would encourage it's all open. He actually make it mandatory for his students in his studio to attend every single masterclass, and the reason is you get to learn from hearing other people play. It's not all about you. You get to learn. You probably learn the most. Sorry, if you're not playing and you're just participating, looking at the score and studying something that you haven't practiced before or played before. And the other thing is, when you hear people of the similar level, you become closer with them. You get to understand them. You get to see them and hear their voice, and to hear them being taught by somebody who's obviously an incredible musician. It's so nurturing, and so I think this is a great idea. Yeah,
and the culture of Colburn School in general is extremely nurturing and welcoming. There's big name teachers, which can be kind of intimidating for young students to even say hi to. They're very accessible, very approachable, and the human culture of the school is just extraordinary. So there's two full scholarships. I honestly feel a little bit jealous of the young musicians.
Me too.
I want to go
too. Yeah, I want to go too. Oh goodness. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is another exciting opportunity. It's called Brilliant Talent Discovery, and let's get on to show that little card on that. Yeah. So can you tell us a bit more about this? I didn't remember this from last year. Is this a new thing?
You can't remember it from last year because it's new.
There we go.
So, but Chris, don't feel too bad. Last year you were just a winner. Only 6 laureates are disqualified from participating. So wait a few years. We're expanding our network.
I'll be back.
Exactly. Be back with more of your programming.
Absolutely.
So, but yes, Sound Espressivo community of musicians and managers and everyone who is working on this new concept of the competition are also very active in seeking more valuable opportunities for musicians to add to our roster of prizes, and our roster is growing, and I'm extremely excited to welcome this new company on board. This is a management company which operates, it's based in Asia, but it operates in Asia and Europe primarily, and they've been in existence for years, and they organize concert tours, they organize educational tours, which include master classes and performance opportunities in various European countries, and it's a large, very active company. They also organize and sponsor 3 competitions. So it's a large network of managers in Asia and Europe, and we are really excited because we are such a new competition. It's great. It's a great honor to be partnering with companies which are bigger and more established and had been in business for much longer than Sound Espressivo. So the two full scholarships for the masterclass and tour in Germany. That's again for the next summer for 2022.
That's so exciting. I'll be back. Like I said, like this is such a great opportunity. Who doesn't want to tour Germany?
Exactly. And it is, again, I want to stress out that it is a full scholarship. It's not partial. The winners of these awards will only need to purchase their air ticket if they are outside Europe, or a train if they're inside Europe. And then everything is taken care of. They will be hosted by I don't know what exactly the accommodations, that's in details, but they will be also bussed together with other musicians who participate in the tour. They'll be able to perform in various settings, in concert halls, in castles, and university halls. They'll be able to meet a lot of people, not just the audience, but also network with musicians and professors and teachers and who runs those institutions. They'll be introduced to those people. So there's an opportunity for musicians to learn, to make friends, and to make connections for the future. These scholarships are suitable for I would say more like high school and college, probably. Some middle school students might be able to benefit from this scholarship if they attend with parents. So we're really excited.
That's so exciting. That is so exciting.
Yeah. And like I said, this particular company also organizes individual tours. It's an artist management company, and they also sign up musicians on their roster. So we're working on expanding our relationship with them, and hopefully they might even sponsor more for the competition in the future.
I can't wait. This is very exciting. And for somebody who hasn't been to Europe or hasn't done a tour before, this is just a great chance to experience that.
Like you said, there are different types of summer programs. For example, there's some phenomenal programs like Aspen, and it's a huge summer program, but you're in the one place the entire time, basically. Now, this particular scholarship is for a mobile summer program. So you go from one place to another, you get to see different cities, get acquainted with different settings, and perform in concert halls in different cities. So
yeah, you don't have to travel with your parents anymore. You can just travel with with brilliant talent discovery, and you get to see Germany. Oh, that's the brilliant idea. Speaking of staying in one place, I can't imagine a more musical place to stay in the next prize in Vienna itself. There's Vienna Music Seminar, which is a full cello scholarship, and it just looks fantastic. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, so this is a phenomenal opportunity for a cello student who will receive this full scholarship, like you said, to go to Vienna and to be part of the program, which is organized by the conservatory. And again, it's a full scholarship, so the person only needs to get there. They'll be completely taken care of. They'll be immersed in the Vienna culture. They will be able to attend a variety of events, which are, Vienna in the summer is a busting place. So they will be, they'll be taken to various events and be able to attend concerts and masterclasses, and they will study with absolutely phenomenal cello professor Ansel Gerber, who is absolutely extraordinary performer and educator and music activist. So the lucky cellist who will be chosen for this scholarship will be able to work closely with her, follow her guidance, and expand networks through her generosity, because she's going to personally introduce the cellist to her colleagues and to her circle, and help expand that way. And chamber music opportunities and everything.
Yeah, and let me just emphasize, you're in Vienna. where else do you want to go? If you're playing classical music and you haven't been to Vienna, or you haven't breathed and lived and experienced the culture there,
well,
it's
what I
just
want to stress
fantastic.
also, yes, what I want to stress also, Chris, one can go to Vienna and just stay in a hotel and walk around, but
That's
that way
true.
you're a bit of a tourist outsider. What's
Yeah.
phenomenal about this opportunity is you are going to be guided personally by the insider of that culture, someone who will actually introduce you with a purpose, not just to see the storefront of this phenomenal place. Vienna is absolutely phenomenal, but to get inside and to meet the actual people who live in there, who work in that environment, who perform in there, and you will be able to meet the conductors and other teachers and other instrumentalists, other participants of this of the seminar. And it's a large seminar, so you'll be surrounded by people from around the world who are in there experiencing the same thing.
That's amazing. As someone who's been, this is the 14th week of our Sydney lockdown. You're just music to my ears. Just
Yeah, I'm
being in
drooling over
Vienna.
this too.
So wow, I send me, please send me. I'll learn the cello.
Well, you have just about 8 weeks before we close the application. Hurry up.
There we go. And speaking of being in Germany and being in Europe, I think our last little scholarship masterclass feature today will be the Bach Fest in Gers, and also Waltham Forest Cello Fest, which sounds, again, phenomenal. Can you tell us a bit more about what this is going on here? Yeah.
Right. So these are two separate festivals happening also in the summer, and this is again a return award. And in 2020, this was awarded to cellists, and they participated. The events were held virtually, of course, because of the lockdown. But again,
Right.
these are very established festivals which had been in existence for years, and not 4 years, for many years. And hopefully this will be, of course, in person. And again, the scholarships mean that you don't have to pay the hefty fees for tuition to be able to attend those. And these are two countries, Germany and UK. One is in the UK and the other one is in Germany. So two different scholarships will go to two cellists, and I'm so thrilled that we have cello specific scholarships, because everywhere you go it's piano, violin.
Sorry.
Seriously, yeah, I'm a pianist. I love my instrument, but I love cello, and there's so many phenomenal cellists, and it just feels like we're doing something right to offset this dominance of the piano and violin in the world by bringing to the spotlight the opportunities for cellists. Now, these are not the only scholarships which Sound Espressivo is offering.
Of course,
we're just giving you a little peek preview and a little overview of what they are like. But please visit our website to see more. There's over 40 prizes, and many of them are this type of prizes.
Incredible. No, thank you so much. So that's it for the kind of different prizes we want to highlight for scholarship masterclasses today. And if you're just joining us now, welcome. We've been talking about the different scholarships and masterclasses that are available as part of the prizes of participating in the Sound Espressivo competition. And if you're a winner, if you're a laureate, these are opportunities that you can't afford to miss. And as somebody who is not dying to travel, but really, really wants
to travel.
then like, this is just such a great opportunity. And I think that when you travel, you open your mind to different things. We talked about this a little bit before, about opening our minds to what's out there, what's possible. And this is such a great way that, as good as it is, we can get it in the virtual world, being there and actually, sitting at a cafe in Vienna, for example. Yeah,
and playing chamber music.
Absolutely.
Playing chamber music with musicians from whole world. And sometimes you may find an opportunity to play chamber music in some of those festivals in the summer with people who don't speak your language.
Yeah.
So that is an opportunity to actually use music as a language, literally. Yep. And I also want to take this opportunity and invite organizers of festivals and summer courses and masterclasses to join Sound Espressivo. If you're watching this program and you're not a teacher who potentially might send students, and you're not a young musician who wants to apply for the competition, but you are one of the entrepreneurial part of the music industry, please consider offering those opportunities to musicians, because through Sound Espressivo you are likely to find phenomenal talent, very worth your support, and the money you spend on providing those scholarships will be well spent on people who will make the most out of the gift and out of your generosity. Please get in touch with us if you would like to partner with Sound Espressivo and offer a prize, scholarship prize or some other prize to the fantastic musicians who participate in this competition.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that. That's a good plug. It's a really good plug. And it's important because young musicians need good organizers and entrepreneurs who want to offer these kind of opportunities. And I'm a benefactor of many of these people. So thank you. And so thank you so much for joining us so far. And Dr. Anna, today, thank you for joining us. And we've been talking a lot about different parts of our competition, which we'll continue to do so over the coming weeks. We're going to keep segmenting parts of our competition and elaborating and giving more context as to how it's all organized. And if you follow along, what's very surprising is you'll find out that there's a lot that goes into it, and it's a lot of thought, a lot of coming from somebody who's well, it's you you and your team have put in so much thought and consideration.
It's a large community. Now, this is the thing about the Sound Espressivo competition. We don't even pretend to be a simple 10-second concept which you can just glance and understand. We've figured out that that would just send a false message and mislead people. Sound Espressivo competition is a complex organization, and it has, like Chris said, has different aspects which were revised, and we did not try to make it easy for people to understand. Instead, our aim was to make it work, to make it valuable, and to make it basically musicians and music managers fair, where everyone and anyone who really dedicates their life and their hearts to the music and wants to grow can find very nourishing environment, can find lots of tools. But to put it together, of course, we created a complicated environment. So these programs are for you to understand what it is we're doing, why we're doing it, what's behind and who's behind. We keep nothing behind the smoke screen. You can ask us any questions you want. Please put the comments, and we will respond, and we'll clarify any questions you might have. We do expect that people have questions, and they do send questions, because this is not a simple concept. If you're playing flute, send us a recording and you'll get a certificate. No, we're not a candy store front. This is a community, and the community is complex. And in the next programs, we'll explain some other aspects, like how you apply for the competition, what are the choices and why these choices are there, and how this technology behind works, which is integrated, complicated technology, and a lot of people working on it. So,
of course. So we started the show by saying, you might be wondering why we're doing all this. You might be wondering as an audience member, why are we, taking all this time to do broadcasts to explain the competition to everyone? And it's because it is a complex machine, and there's a lot of things that are happening. There's a lot of great things like no time limits, no repertoire requirements, and immediate feedback from the jury. Incredibly valuable prizes from management, performance opportunities, collaborations, career coaching, and today we talked about scholarships and masterclasses. So there's a lot that there is to offer, and so we want to take the time to explain it so that when people apply, they know what they're in for. And this is an incredible thing. So we started with explaining all this, and I want to end with a question to you, Dr. Anna. I want to ask you.
Oh, I'm scared.
Share with us. No. I think this will be right up your alley, and I want to ask if you could share with us one or two particularly fond memories that you have of traveling in Europe. And we talked about scholarships and masterclasses. Perhaps you attended some masterclasses. Perhaps you were part of music festivals or concert tour. Could you share some fond memories with us about that?
Sure. I love my memories. They're all fun. And Chris, there was so much said about attending masterclasses, attending something which is already there. And I just want to bring a little different aspect to that. My very first concert tour in Europe was organized by a 20-year-old. And it was not a management company. It was a 20-year-old guy, David von Lingen, German person who was a student at the time. And I was a student too. And he was studying economics, but he was a great fan of music. And so he offered me to organize a tour. And I was 21. And he was not my boyfriend. He was just a friend from a circle of friends I had.
Wow.
And my teacher and my parents and my peers were saying, "You're crazy, you're nuts. You're going on a concert tour organized by who? By Kid?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what I'm doing." That's exactly what I'm doing.
And how did it go? How was it?
It was absolutely extraordinary.
Wow.
I was touring Germany in different cities. He organized concerts in different cities in the universities. He contacted his own friends, students, and offered them to organize concerts for this young pianist from St. Petersburg. And students were excited about it. They wanted to do it. They were, there's a drive in the want, and they said, "That's kind of cool." And it was an absolutely extraordinary tour.
Wow.
I think I gave maybe a dozen concerts, and we traveled sometimes by car, sometimes by train. It was all student kind of traveling. And sometimes I stayed in the, dorm-like hotels.
Yeah.
Sometimes David found some family which hosted me. And one of the concerts was in the beautiful castle, and I performed the whole Goldberg variations in there, and it was a very sophisticated audience attending. Another concert was in Freiburg, in the university in there, it was in the hall for students, and it was packed. There were hundreds of people there. So, and I observed how he announced these concerts. I mean, mind you, that was quite a few years ago, before internet. And one of the concerts, we were traveling, and David was guiding me, and he said, "Oh, I'm so unprepared with this concert. I'm so unprepared. I'm so nervous. We're not going to have any people. Let's go together and announce the concert." And I said, "Sure, let's do that." And we went to the print shop, and we printed programs and announcements. He drew a picture, actually by hand. So in the print shop, they made copies of the picture in there, an announcement, which is, very handmade. Now that would be a rarity. I unfortunately don't have that piece of paper anymore.
Oh,
but
that'd be amazing. Yeah.
Back then it was, okay, let's draw something on the counter real quick and announce. And then he took Scotch tape, and I remember very quick method he had of putting things with the Scotch tape. Just bite on it and tear it, because there were no tearing devices for Scotch tape. It was just a bulk thing. So he said, "Do that real quick. Let's put it everywhere, on every window in the cafeteria in this university, and let's announce it. And I know where students congregate after classes. It's that pub. Let's go to that pub and put it in there." So we went, and we were just racing around town. And when the evening came, the hall was packed with young people and some faculty members, and I met so many interesting people there and lifelong future collaborators. It was absolutely extraordinary, and I made some money. He was charging tickets, and he sponsored this entire event, this entire tour, so he gave me all the money which he received from the ticket sales. So I came back with a bunch of cash and a lot of absolutely fantastic memories, just by trusting that something unconventional can actually work. It could have been a flop, and sometimes it is a flop. Things like that flop. You have to be open-minded. You have to be prepared to take a risk, make a leap of faith, trust in people, believe in opportunities, and just go there. You're going to find out. Maybe some things won't work out. Okay, brush them off. Move on to the next thing. Be adventurous. This is my most important advice from this one experience 30 plus years ago. Being adventurous pays off.
Wow. So it pays to be a little nuts. Pays to be a little nuts.
Well, of course, you
know?
have to mitigate the risks, and this was not risky because I was coming from a much more risky country and much more difficult country to Europe. What's there to fear? European people are welcoming.
Thank you. That's more than I bargained for in this story. Hey? Thank you so much. That's just so encouraging and so inspiring as usual from you. It's just always great to hear your stories and your way of seeing the world. And so thank you for
Chris, for asking great questions. You gave me an opportunity to share it. I love sharing it.
I love that. No, thank you. You're always sharing such good stuff with me, and I really appreciate it. So I want to give a big hand to our director, Ante, behind the scenes.
Ante, thank you so much.
Doing fantastic. We love it. Thank you to all the Sound Espressivo Competition board and the team behind everything. Look, you're making this incredible competition happen, and I'm sure 2021 will be just a phenomenal time for all of us to share our music, to be on the virtual concert stage, and to give opportunities and share and network. So thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you in the next broadcast. Thank you.
See you in the next broadcast. Thank you. Join our community.
Bye, everybody.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.